And a big welcome into the Pinstriped Prospects Podcast, episode number 62, of course presented by our friends over at Velocity Wings. And just like Domingo Acevedo, I too am getting the call up here today. Here with you, I'm Alex Zeller, and you'll normally catch me on Saturdays where we release the Farm Report exclusively on PinstripeProspects.com. But it's my first time ever being able to host the podcast where you'll catch news, stats, analysis, and so much more regarding the New York Yankees minor league system. Maybe you're catching this on our Facebook page or our YouTube page, but you can also get this podcast over on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, or TuneIn, however way you've chosen to listen to us today. Thank you so very much for making us a part of your weekly programming where we provide you all the best coverage that we can provide in the New York Yankees minor league system, where you'll stay up to date on the future of the New York Yankees, and even what's going on with some of your favorite prospects, like Domingo Acevedo, who's listed as our number 5 in our 2018 Top 100 Prospects, which you can go on PinstripeProspects.com and catch right now. The team was up late Friday night into Saturday as we found out about the New York Yankees calling up right-handed pitcher Domingo Acevedo to the big leagues this past Saturday when they took on the visiting New York Mets after sending down Domingo Germán to the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Acevedo, age 24, came to the Yankees as a free agent in 2012 from Villa Los Almacigos in the Dominican Republic. He's an imposing figure on the mound, sizing up to 6'7" and weighing in at around 250 pounds. Acevedo overall in his 2018 campaign owns a 2-2 record with a 2.84 ERA with 40 strikeouts in 50 2/3 innings. His fastball sits in the mid-high 90s, a changeup in the high 80s, and an 85 to 88 mile per hour slider. Acevedo didn't get the opportunity to pitch in Saturday's game. In all likelihood, with Sonny Gray on the mound, the plans for Domingo Acevedo mounted to that of an innings eater, according to Lindsey Adler from The Athletic, since he was already all stretched out, but that wasn't needed as Gray got the win, giving the Yankees a 7-6 victory over the Mets back on Saturday. After the game, Acevedo was optioned back to the AA Trenton Thunder to continue his development, where the team is hopeful that perhaps he can get back to those triple-digit numbers that Acevedo was able to throw just a couple of years ago. Let's take a look back now at the MLB All-Star break, which saw the Futures game being held at Nationals Park down in Washington, D.C. Our very own Matt Kardos, who's our Trenton Thunder beat writer, traveled all the way down to D.C. to check out left-handed pitcher Justus Sheffield represent the New York Yankees on the U.S. team. The southpaw, currently assigned to the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, is the top pitching prospect for the Yankees and currently sits ranked at number 3 overall according to the Pinstripe Prospects Top 75 preseason list. The 22-year-old started 2018 down in Trenton with the Thunder, where he went 1 for 2 with a 2.25 ERA in 5 starts. Sheffield held Eastern League batters to a 163 average before getting called up to AAA. Since the call-up, the 2014 first-round draft selection by the Cleveland Indians has gone 3 for 3 with a 2.53 ERA with 56 strikeouts and 57 innings of work. In the Futures game, Sheffield pitched for 1 1/3 of an inning, surrendering 2 earned runs on 2 hits and struck out 1 batter. Sheffield only faced 6 batters and threw 20 pitches, 13 for strikes. Our own Matt Kardos got to speak with the Yankees' top pitching prospect down in Washington, D.C., which we have exclusively for you now. Matt, take it away.
Obviously, when I saw you earlier in the year, you started the year in Trenton. How much do you think you've grown as a pitcher from that point when you started the year to just where you are now a couple months later?
I think just continuing to do what I do. Continue to put in the work off the field, on the field, the 4 days when I'm not pitching, and just working on things. I think that's the main thing, just continue to work hard and figuring out what I need to fix in between outings and things like that, and working on it, and then going out there and fixing it the next outing.
Have you seen any distinct differences in kind of the level of competition coming up from Trenton to now being in Scranton for a couple months?
Yeah, I think it's more experienced hitters. You know, you get to AAA and you're facing ex-big leaguers and guys that had time in the show, so they really know kind kind of what they're doing at the plate, and they'll hit the mistakes more often than not. So I think it's just the focus point on the mound, and really studying the hitters' swings and in between your outings before you go out there and pitch, the scouting report and stuff like that.
How big of an honor is it to just be selected to be part of this? Obviously, the Yankees have a great farm system. Only guy to represent the system this year, but just the atmosphere and pitching in a big league park kind of makes you feel like it's
it's gonna be. I'm real excited. Yeah, I'm super excited. It's my second time only pitching in a big league stadium. Did it in high school, but not to this extent. So I'll be really excited about that and show people what I can do.
Who do you have here? You have a lot of family and stuff here today?
Yeah, my mom and my grandma. They flew out. So.
Okay. And I kind of overheard you. I'm sure you had a little rough time getting down here from what I heard.
Yeah, it was a long day, but I'm just glad I got here and was able to still do the festivities yesterday and stuff like that.
Flight get delayed or?
Yeah, or canceled. Something with the airplane. So got canceled and then went to Philly, got on a train to Philly, and came to D.C.
What time did you get to D.C.?
Like 4:30.
This morning?
No.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So it was just an all-day thing, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and obviously, I know Mark kind of said it, but the trade talk is bound to happen when the Yankees are involved in anything. And something you've been through, you've been moved at the deadline before. Is that just kind of something you kind of block out and just keep doing your thing for?
I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest. I mean, it is what it is. End of July, things start getting set out there, and that's when stuff starts getting heated up. So, guys see it coming, but best thing to do is just block it out, and that's what I do. Just go out there and play.
All right, thanks, Matt. Great work down in Washington, D.C. You guys should follow Matt on Twitter to get updates about the AA Trenton Thunder, the beat that Matt covers for us here at PinstripeProspects.com. Let's move now to the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Take a look at left-handed pitcher Stephen Tarpley. Tarpley arrived in the New York Yankees organization in August of 2016 as part of the Ivan Nova trade to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The lefty was originally drafted by the Baltimore Orioles and comes from Scottsdale, CC, where he transferred from USC. Tarpley's scouting report, which you can find on PinstripeProspects.com, shows a two-seam fastball in the upper 80s to low 90s, but has topped out his velocity at 96 miles per hour. The off-speed stuff in his repertoire include a changeup, a slider, and a curveball. Tarpley started his 2018 campaign assigned to the AA Trenton Thunder, where he went 5-0 with a 1.26 ERA before getting promoted to the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. While in AAA so far, Tarpley is 1-0 with a 1.76 ERA. Our very own Austin Petolillo, who covers the Trenton Thunder for us, was able to catch up with Stephen Tarpley in an exclusive interview about his mindset and how he's approaching his latest assignment in AAA. Austin, take it away.
So, this is your first time up in AAA, how do you adjust it to it?
How did I adjust to it?
Like, how's the adjustment been?
It's been good, man. Definitely the treatment's better up here. I like, just kind of like, you're more responsible for, what, getting yourself ready and, like, just performing. I think, the competition, it's pretty similar to what it was in AA. Of course, you got some guys that have big league time, but, I guess just, getting my feet wet and getting the excitement out. It's the same game, just different level.
Yeah, now going back to, having big league talent, you share, bullpen with Canely. What's it like having guys who have, gone up to the big leagues and improving themselves, down here with you?
No, I mean, it's cool. It kind of lets you know that, hey, like, you're knocking on the doorstep, like, you're right there. So, it's just a matter of performing now and, just being consistent so that when I do get my opportunity that I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Now, down in Trenton, you were very impressive. You, Frere, and Reeves, all three of you were, fantastic in there. All three of you were lefties. What does that kind of say about the organizational talent?
I think, being traded twice, just going from organization to organization, definitely this organization is loaded with the most talent that I've seen. Left-handers or right-handers, it doesn't really matter. Everybody's pretty talented, and I don't know. I think we're just full of a lot of guys throughout the system, and a lot of guys here I can see getting their opportunity in the big leagues and potentially having a long career.
Yeah. Now, you talked about organization. do you feel like you finally found, I know you can't decide on that, but do you feel like you finally found a place you can call home?
I hope so. Yeah. You never know. I had high hopes with my first team. Of course, it's always like, your first love, I guess. But just being traded twice made me realize that there are 30 teams out there altogether. That you're going to have your opportunity as long as you're doing what you need to do. Of course, I'd like to be make it to the club with the Yankees, and I think that's a huge platform. But it is what it is. If I end up getting traded or Rule 5'd or whatever, I'll be happy playing, and maybe I'll have an opportunity to play for the Yankees another day.
Now, with trade deadline coming, you obviously seasoned veteran of getting traded. Do you give guys advice? With their names being swirled around in trade rumors like Justus or Sheffield. Do you ever talk to them
Well, Justus has been traded already, so he kind of understands the whole process. But guys will ask me sometimes like, "What's it like?" And I'm like, it's just like switching schools. It depends, when during the season that it's happening, but. No, I think it's a good adjustment, especially at this level. Like pretty much with the Yankees, if you're getting traded or anything like that, you're gonna start at either the same level or potentially make it to the league a little bit quicker. Yeah. Maybe right after you get traded. Who knows? But no, I just tell them just keep playing baseball. Stay on path and keep doing what you need to do, and you'll be all right.
Yeah. Is there like a pitch or like something in your game that you're trying to work on up here?
No, it's just more consistency. I think everything is kind of there. Of course, I'm not saying my ceiling, is done, but no, I can always improve on all of my pitches and improve on, consistency in the zone and movement and, being, thrown in and out, up and down, tricking hitters. But no, I think it's just being consistent, throwing strikes and getting my ground balls like I've been doing all season.
Is it, you had that fantastic start in Trenton. Is there anything you can attribute to that success down there?
Just kind of I guess my mental attitude that I kind of started doing once I got to the pen and high. I mean, I had a 0 there for 3 months, and I got called up to Trenton. Whatever, had a little down moment in Trenton, and then this year really kind of kicked back into it. So I think it's just my consistency and me being able to get my ground balls, and then once I get to that 0-2 count, I get my strikeouts going. So I think it's just kind of my attitude on the mound as far as just being locked in and just feeling comfortable. So I think that's what's really helped me. Of course, having decent pitches and having a good infield and a good team behind me always helps, but it's kind of a number of things.
Is being a ground ball pitcher kind of your MO? I know there's one time in Trenton where you pitched 3 innings and all 9 outs were ground balls.
Yeah, I do try to get my ground balls early. My role is to kind of go longer, 2-3 innings, and get a bunch of ground balls as well as strikeouts. But I feel more comfortable getting bad swings and weak ground balls because it's something that our infield can handle, and keeping the ball in the yard I know is big, especially for the big leagues, especially with the balls that they're using now. I think keeping it on the ground is pretty important. So that's what I'm going to stick with, and that's what I'm going to run with. So, I don't see too many guys throwing, heavy or throwing a lot of sinkers or anything like that. So I'm going to keep doing it, and hopefully that's my calling. So.
Last question, you're up here in AAA. There are some guys that were down in Trenton with you that are up here, like Losiga and Swanson. Sharing a clubhouse with them, does that kind of make you more comfortable?
Yeah. I mean, I know most of these guys. Either I played with them last year a little bit in Trenton, or I played with them in high. So being around these guys is pretty familiar. Yeah. It's a little bit more comforting than. But I mean, it's always new going into a new clubhouse. You got to kind of settle in. And, I'm not saying that I'm always, I'm comfortable where I'm at, because I never try to be technically comfortable, but it does make it easier. Puts me at ease a little bit. So.
Do you guys talk about that? We're going through the same thing, first time in AAA. Do you guys ever talk about that kind of stuff?
No, not really. I mean, when I first came up here, they're just what, this is what it's going to be. This is what you're going to be facing. Just kind of try and settle in and relax and do you, and you're going to be fine. So I think it was just kind of getting my feet wet that first time. I know probably the stats aren't saying, showing what I've been doing up here, but, as far as me being up here, I've been getting my confidence back and feeling good on the mound again and feeling comfortable and just being myself. So I'm excited to see what I got for the rest of the year up here in AAA. And, if I get traded or, if my calling is this year. Hopefully I carry that over there too. So.
All right, thanks, Austin. Now, an update on catcher Anthony Ziegler. As per our very own Ricky Keeler, 2018 New York Yankees first-round draft pick Anthony Ziegler returned to the lineup on Saturday after suffering from a minor hamstring injury. So far, since Ziegler was drafted back during the 2018 MLB First Players Draft, he has done pretty well for himself down in the GCL Yankees. The catcher batted .381 in his first 7 games. Let's take a look at another catching prospect in Josh Breaux, who is the Yankees' second-round pick of the same draft just last month. He's currently assigned to the Single-A short season Staten Island Yankees. In my favorite part of the MLB First Player Draft back last month, Nick Swisher got to announce that Josh Breaux was going to join the New York Yankees organization out of McLennan, a community college down in Texas. In his second season at McLennan, the catcher hit .404 with 14 doubles, 18 home runs, 69 RBIs, and had 48 walks to 32 strikeouts. Very few players try to run on Breaux, as 5 out of 14 runners were successful trying to steal off of him. Breaux got off to a pretty exciting start since joining the Staten Island Yankees this year. His first professional hit occurred back on July 1st on no other than Noah Syndergaard of the New York Mets. Syndergaard was on an injury rehab assignment playing on the Brooklyn Cyclones. Breaux faced a bit of a setback as of late, suffering a hamstring injury after smacking an RBI double against Mahoning Valley back on July 11th. Our own Ricky Keeler got to sit down with Josh Breaux and get his insight into how he's been doing so far in what must be a whirlwind of a year for the 20-year-old. Ricky, take it away.
It was pretty incredible. I was at my house with my whole family, and then right before the Yankees had their pick, at pick 61, I got a phone call from my area scout, and he's just like, "Hey, are you ready to be a Yankee?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And so that's how it went.
How cool is it to have a player like Nick Swisher be the one that calls your name out on the MLB Draft Studio?
Oh yeah, that was awesome, and especially how he said it. And I thought it was the coolest part. So.
Who was your favorite team growing up? If it wasn't the Yankees, then who was it?
Yeah, so my favorite team growing up was actually the Rangers. Whenever I was younger, Josh Hamilton was my favorite player, and he played for the Rangers for a really long time, so that's who my favorite team was.
How did you decide, or how did it end up that you became a catcher?
So I used to be a shortstop, and then I got fat, so they moved me to catcher. And so I've been playing catcher ever since then, and I fell in love with it.
Who are some of the catchers that have been players that you've grown up watching and tried to maybe take some of your game after?
Yeah. Definitely Ivan Rodriguez, Yadier Molina, Mike Piazza, all those guys. Mike Piazza was more of a hitting catcher, so I liked watching him play and stuff like that. So those guys.
How would you describe your approach at the plate?
I just try to hit the ball hard. Yeah, that's my approach.
When you look at, you've had a couple games in the Gulf Coast League to sort of get your feet wet in professional ball. What can you take away from that experience as you head up here to Staten Island?
Oh, it's been a while since I played, so that was just stepping stool, trying to get my timing back on the pitchers and stuff like that, just catching, just get my legs warmed up again. That's about it.
When you take a look at your college experience, you played junior college. Can you tell us something unique about that experience?
Yeah, it was one of the best. It was the best baseball experience I've ever had. The coaching staff was great. It was really fun baseball, really competitive, and I loved it. It was awesome.
What is something unique about the home games that you guys had?
Oh, so we had a pretty good crowd for JUCO, but it was just the intensity it was playing at home, not letting the other team beat us at home. We had a really good home record, so.
Now, do you have an experience calling your own game behind the plate, or how did it go about the communication with the pitchers as you moved up in junior college?
Yeah, so in junior college, our coach called the games, but that, when I played in the Cape last summer, I called all the games. So I've had experience calling games. I talk to all the pitchers. I know what they want to do, and I have a game plan, and they have a game plan, and we just figure it out.
How was the Cape for you, and how did that help you as a player going into your season this past year?
Oh, it helped me a lot. I went through some struggles hitting, and I learned how to deal with adversity when I went through a slump, because that was the first time I ever had that happen. So I learned how to overcome it, and it made me a better player.
Now, is this your first trip to New York?
Yes.
What are you most looking forward to about playing in this, albeit not with big league club, but in the state where the big league club is?
Yeah, I'm just I'm looking forward to just competing and playing for this team and do whatever I can to win.
Your first night here, you don't get in the game, but your team finds a way to win. How's that for a first game, the way the game ended tonight with the dramatics
cool.
and the hate?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What are your goals for this season?
My goals are to help my team out as much as I can and for us to win as many games as possible.
How quick is it with the learning curve to learn so many pitchers on the fly as you get into professional ball? How quick is it in terms of adjusting to different guys?
Oh, all these guys are really good, and they all work really hard, and I think it'll be a learning experience for sure, but I think it's something that will be really fun.
All right, thanks, Ricky. For the remainder of the show, we'll stick with what's going on in Staten Island and take a look at another prospect. Check out outfielder Kanan Smith. The outfielder joined the New York Yankees organization after being drafted in the 4th round in last year's entry-level draft out of Rockwall Heath High School in Texas. So far this season on the single-A short season Staten Island Yankees, Kanan is batting .167 with 1 home run and 9 RBIs, along with 6 walks and 19 strikeouts. Our very own Lawrence Krieger got to catch up with the outfielding prospect. Lawrence, take it away.
Okay. Congratulations today, first home run of the season. What was your reaction when you saw it go out?
I'm just happy that I put some runs up for us to get ahead of the lead. For sure.
Is it a bit of an approach change, or are you just able to connect to the ball?
I'm just seeing the ball better. I'm sticking with my approach. I'm not going to change anything. Just happy that I hit it and we put some runs up.
What was the reaction in the dugout when you got back in?
They were happy for me, not hitting the ball the way I want to in the beginning. They're just happy to see me put some runs up.
What's your outlook for the rest of the season?
Stay consistent. Don't change anything and just keep working hard.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Lawrence. Now, let's check out right-handed pitcher Nolan Martinez. Martinez was drafted by the Yankees in the 3rd round of the 2016 MLB draft out of Culver City High School in California. Martinez has suffered from shoulder injuries in the past, in 2016 and 2017 combined. Martinez has appeared in only 9 games and has a 1.74 ERA, along with 17 strikeouts to 7 walks in 20.2 innings. In the righty's repertoire is a fastball that can reach up to 95 miles per hour, a changeup, a slider, and a curveball. So far in 2018, Martinez is 3-0 on the Staten Island Yankees with a 1.73 ERA. He also has a 1.40 strikeouts to walk ratio. Our own Ricky Keeler got to meet up with Nolan Martinez to discuss how he's been doing so far in 2018. Ricky, take it away.
So what was the biggest thing you took away from tonight's start?
Just like the first couple innings, I wasn't feeling that well with my pitches and like the location of my pitches. So I think the transition from those couple first innings to the last innings, I made a big adjustment, trying to get the ball down, get people out. So I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from the game today.
You got out of those 2 jams in the 2nd and 3rd inning. Did that help you settle in to the outing a little bit and get in a rhythm?
Yes, absolutely.
You've had some injury concerns in the past. Do you feel like you're fully healthy?
Yes.
Take me through that process a little. What's the toughest part about the rehab for you back then?
Just doing the same stuff every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of what everybody says, the grind. So just the rehab and then the slow throwing program to build back up. And I was just trying to keep my head right and just focus on what I wanted and what I wanted to be.
What did you think was the biggest improvement from your start in Lowell to tonight?
Just I had more confidence. That's pretty much it, because I got the first game away, and now the second game was kind of more of add more feel.
To have that success that you guys have had against a really strong team, you threw 6 shutout, Contreras threw 6 shutouts the other day. To have that success as a rotation against this strong team, what does that mean for you guys going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it makes like all the pitching staff or whatever trust your stuff and trust your team behind you, so that and trust them that they'll make outs, and just hopefully that we'll score runs like we did tonight.
You were able to get into the 6th inning today. How does it feel to be able to get that far into a game?
It felt great because I haven't been in the 6th inning for how long, so it felt great to get out and extend my innings and stuff, get my pitch count up. So it felt good, good experience.
What was your reaction when you found out that you're going to be drafted by the Yankees, and what was your draft day experience like?
Well, I thought I was going to get drafted the first day, but that didn't happen. I mean, I'm not complaining, but then I was graduating the day after, and I got the call before I was going to walk stage. So I mean, couldn't ask for a better experience.
Were the Yankees your favorite team growing up? Or
not necessarily. I've never really watched baseball. Never really got into baseball, kind of watching it. So, but I mean, I love playing myself. I didn't really have a favorite team growing up.
How did you get into pitching?
I just had kind of a natural form, natural delivery for it. So I was just, I guess, destined to be a pitcher.
If you had to describe your pitch arsenal, how would you give a scouting report on yourself?
Fastball, curveball, changeup, kind of normal. I believe normal starter kind of arsenal, and fastball is kind of not fast, not slow, but it has good life to it. Changeup still needs a little bit of improvement on it, but got good depth, got good spin to it, good. Can't think of the word, but curveball. I really like my curveball. I mean, I feel like I could throw that in any count. But I mean, tonight didn't have that much feel for it tonight. But I pushed through it and just try to do my best.
You mentioned your changeup. Was that one of the things that you worked on extended spring, and how has the evolution of that pitch come along for you?
Yes, I mean, I've been working on that ever since pretty much I got here. So, I mean, the evolution of it. I mean, it was great. It's been just going on the rise since I got drafted.
You ended the season well in Pulaski last season, a couple of shutout outings in your last 2 starts. How did that help springboard you into Instruction League and then into the season?
This season?
Springboard you into this year.
Okay. I mean, it was just kind of nice to get my feet wet, get under the lights, and kind of get the experience of a short season team. And my biggest thing was just needed innings and just try to stay healthy, because that was the biggest thing for me, even though I wasn't healthy in the beginning of spring training this year, but I pushed through it and now I'm here. So
what are your goals for this year?
Just help the team win. Just help the team win and produce as a player and get better as a player.
Which of your teammates are you bouncing kind of ideas off of to learn to throw pitches better?
I think it's just a big confidence booster, like in your whole team, like that you'll trust them to make good plays, or not good plays, but like plays to get outs and stuff like that. Like today, base loaded situation, got a ground ball, it was hit pretty hard, and got out of the inning. So just for me, it's just the trust in the teammates, the people that are behind you.
Have you found there's any other pitcher on the team that you kind of work with?
I mean, I work with all of them. We ask questions to all of them. We answer all questions to all of them. So, I mean, this is kind of like a team effort.
All right, thanks, Ricky. Lawrence Krieger as well has been really hard at work finding out more about the pair of outfielders currently on the Staten Island Yankees, Junior Soto and Brandon Lockridge. First up, Junior Soto, who was acquired by the Yankees in the minor league phase of the 2017 Rule 5 draft. Prior to arriving in New York, the Dominican Republic native spent 4 seasons with the Cleveland Indians when he signed with them back in 2013. Soto was highly touted for power, which is still being developed. So far in 2018, Soto is hitting with a .217 average with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. Plate discipline is something Soto continues to work on. Our very own Lawrence Krieger was able to catch up with Junior on Staten Island. Lawrence?
Congratulations on your success tonight. What have you seen throughout your development through this season?
No, I've been working on my resistance, in my front leg, and working on my time since I get to the United States this year.
Okay. This game was against your former organization, so the first time you faced the Indians in game action. What did you feel going into this game?
I feel really good because I used to play for them. Now I had this awesome game against them.
What are your expectations for the rest of the season?
Put my average up and keep working and what I need to do.
What are your strongest tools?
I mean, hit the fastball. That's my strongest. But I've been having problems with breaking balls. But I'm still working.
You said you're having a problem with the breaking ball. Is that what you're working on most?
Yes.
What were you working on most during extended spring training?
Have strong legs and my timing.
Okay. How have you been able to connect with the new teammates with the Yankees?
No, I've been good. This is a really good team. I feel good with those teammates.
Okay. And what is the difference you've seen between the Indians and the Yankees?
I don't know any difference. We came here to play baseball. It's the same baseball, different organization.
Okay, that's pretty much all I have.
Meanwhile, Brandon Lockridge was drafted by the Yankees in the 5th round of this year's first player draft out of Troy University. Lockridge sizes up to 6'1" and comes in at 185 pounds. The top tool Lockridge has is reportedly speed. He stole 25 bases in 60 games. Our own Lawrence Krieger was able to catch up with Lockridge as well. Lawrence, take it away.
Congratulations on the win tonight. Congratulations on being selected by the Yankees. You were a 5th round pick this year. Can you just give us a little bit idea of your draft experience?
Going into the draft, I knew I had a pretty good idea, kind of where I stood going in. And me and my area scout, kept in contact basically all season between the fall and the spring. And, I knew that, the Yankees was were pretty high on me, and I would be a pretty good fit for, what they were looking for. So it wasn't really a surprise that much, but it was, it was surreal almost, whenever you finally get that call early 5th round saying, hey, if everything lines up right, you're going to be our next pick, and instantly your stomach just drops, So.
Were you a Yankees fan growing up?
I was. So I grew up playing middle infield, so it was mainly a shortstop, and every young shortstop's idol is Derek Jeter. So just growing up playing the MLB games and stuff. Growing up, you always want you and your friends are fighting over who gets the Yankees. So that's how it was. So it's awesome.
You've been playing center field so far this season. Is that where you see yourself in the future, or do you see yourself mixing back and forth?
So I'm basically doing whatever they want me to do. Wherever I can be in the lineup and help the team is where I'm going to play. So, I played, middle infield my first 2 years of college and just made the transition to center field my junior season. So, I'm open for whatever, It's always fun trying somewhere else. So, I played in the GCL. I played, the corners a little bit, corners outfield. So, like I said, just wherever's good with me.
Okay. Can you give us a little scouting report on yourself? What your tools are and how you use them?
I think my biggest asset is my speed. So, you can't really teach speed. So I try to use that to my advantage, and that's kind of my game range in the outfield. I feel like I'm a pretty good defender, and then offensively, been working with the coaches, and they've really helped me. The game's slowing down a little bit. Timing purposes, offensively, I feel great right now in the box, and just having a good time right now. So,
like you said, you played in the rookie league for I think it's 10 games.
I think so.
Yeah. What have you seen the difference between rookie level and short season today?
There's good talent in both. It's a little bit more raw talent down there, and here it's a little more polished. I feel like this is, equivalent to really elite college pitching. So. The velocities are obviously a little bit higher than what I saw in college, consistently at least. But I think it's a challenge, and it makes it extremely fun. Every single guy you're facing, you never know where he could be the next day. He could be moved up, So I don't know. It's just, even nothing's really a failure so far that I've really experienced. In college, you face some guys that are like, that guy shouldn't have got me out. But here it's like everybody's here for the same reason. So, you tip your hat whenever they get you, and you try to get them next time.
Is that the biggest comparison you've made between the college and the program?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly. The biggest thing is, I guess, soaking it in almost right now, because it's kind of like I said, it still hasn't really sunk in that I'm playing for the New York Yankees. It's awesome.
So you said that speed is your biggest strength. What are you working on most right now, or it's still very early on?
Yeah, it's a little early on. The coaches are still trying to feel out what what I need to work on the most, and I'm just soaking it in. Whatever they want to do with me, I'm open to it. You know, they're the experts here, so I'm willing to work around whatever they want me to do. So.
I mean, tonight's lineup, and this happened I think a couple nights ago. So you were in center, Alex Jr.'s in left, Junior Soto's in right. It's a very good defensive outfield. What do you see, especially working with outfielders that kind of talent also?
It's awesome. So, like, I mean, I feel like not many balls should drop in the outfield with that kind of, you know, we got 3 really good defenders, and I mean, we're pretty solid 1 through 9 in the lineup. This is, I mean, yeah, it's fun. You never know what's going to happen throughout the game. So.
And have you felt that you've been able to work well with your teammates so far?
Really well, yeah. Everybody gets along. Everything. It's a really good bond. And I mean, I didn't know what to expect coming into professional baseball. Just you know, there's guys from every different background, you know, across the country, across the world, really. So, I mean, it's awesome getting everybody together and then all pulling for the same thing. So,
you were a Yankee fan. Have you been to Yankee Stadium at any point?
I have not been. So I've only been to a couple professional games solely because I play. You know, usually play in the spring, play summer baseball. You know, growing up I played fall ball even. So like, you know, plus with the way my parents work, I mean, it really wasn't, you know, feasible for me to go to, you know, travel long distances and go to games. So I've been to a Tampa Bay Rays game and a couple of Atlanta Braves games. So, I mean, I really haven't gone to any big league games in my lifetime, but I hope to get over there soon and, you know, see a couple games. So.
Does the proximity of this ballpark to Yankee Stadium help motivate you?
Yes. So this is one of the best venue, or the best venue I've ever played in. You know, so I played in the Wahoo Stadium, the AA affiliate for the Reds, down in Pensacola because it's where I'm from. We've had some high school and college games down there, but you know, I thought that was a pretty good venue. But this one up here with you know, the skyline in the background is incredible.
And what is your goal for the rest of the season?
I'm just trying to get better every single day. So find something, you know, in my game that I can get better and help our team win. So.
I guess the last question I would have is, since you're just starting as a professional, obviously you're looking towards other players of who you kind of emulate yourself to. Who, as a professional, did you see yourself trying to play as?
It's a tough one. I feel like I have kind of my own style, so I mean, it's kind of a tough one to answer. You know, it's obviously pretty difficult to compare myself to any big leaguer right now, just because that's a pretty big comparison. So that's a tough one.
It's a bit of a loaded question.
Yeah, sorry. If you give me a little bit of heads up, I could have thought about that one. Let me think. You know, obviously I guess the corner outfielders for the Yankees organization, I don't really fit that profile, but
well, maybe Gardner a little bit.
Gardner, I can see that, yeah. So, you know, that same, you know, I would say speed is probably his, you know, similar best asset. So, like, yeah, that'd probably be the guy that I would, you know, look at. So,
yeah, I mean, he played here in 05, so that did. Yeah, I was actually here in 05 as a season ticket holder.
Okay,
speed's comparable, so
that's awesome. Yeah, so. You know, hopefully, and I don't know how many year difference that is on the top of my head, but you know, when I turn around, I would hope that I'll be in the same spot as him. So,
okay. I think
after speaking with both Junior Soto and Brandon Lockridge, Lawrence Krieger was able to catch up with Yankees hitting coach Ken Joyce to get his analysis on how both players are doing. Lawrence?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Okay. I was going to talk about 3 of your outfielders, so Junior Soto, Alex Jr., and Brandon Lockridge. Soto looks like he was struggling earlier in the year, but has kind of hit a little bit of a groove. What have you seen from him lately?
The biggest thing is that he started to gain resistance with his front side so that he can actually recognize pitches. His head's not moving as much. He's actually incorporating his lower half now, allowing his swing to work.
I know Lino had spoken about it earlier, that Soto was one of the players that was kind of just chasing after everything.
Yeah, again, when his front side wasn't getting down to create resistance to keep his head from moving forward, he wasn't able to see what was going on. So once he stopped his head from moving, he started to recognize a lot better.
He's new to the organization, coming over in the minor league phase of the Rule 5 draft. What did you know about him prior to the season?
Just what I saw down in extended spring and during spring training. An athletic kid who's got some talent and a high ceiling. Okay.
What do you see as his strengths?
For me, the fact that he is athletic, and we've seen the power. You know, so.
What tools do you see as development?
For his development is strike zone recognition and being able to use his lower half, which is what he's working on.
Okay. And what do you see as future potential?
I think he's got a chance to display those tools at the higher levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
For Brandon Lockridge, very new to the team, recent draft pick. What have you seen from him so far?
He's a baseball player. No, I mean, like basically old-time baseball. He's a guy who loves to play the game. He plays the game hard, plays the game right. He's got talent. He's got ability. Obviously, with the fact that he went up in the higher rounds, there's a reason for that. And it's fun to work with athletes like that.
What do you see his strengths to be?
Well, obviously he can run, and his defense is very good. But to me, I think he's going to be a guy that when he learns how to use his lower half and use the whole field, that he's going to be able to utilize that speed a lot more, getting balls gap to gap. So.
What are you trying to work with him most this season as the hitting coach?
Right now, we're trying to get him just to get a more direct path to the ball. It's something that needs to be done. We're going to do it now. He's taken to what we're trying to do right now, so a lot of times we wait a certain period of time before we do things, but he's already bought in and made some adjustments and has hit the ball hard the last few days he's been in there.
It's been here only about a week.
Yeah.
What's your outlook for him on the season?
For him, to continue to do what he's doing. I mean, he's, like I said, he's a baseball player and adds a lot to this group.
What do you see as future potential?
A chance to play in the big leagues. Yeah, no question.
Okay. And for Alex Jr., one of the first 2 draft picks that came over, what did you see from him? Because you've actually had him for a little bit of time here.
Well, he's a guy who gets deep into counts, sees a lot of pitches. The one thing we need to do is try to cut down his strikeouts. But, he will get on base or walk, and you can see the last couple of days that he's got a little pop. And he's kind of got that sneaky pop, which is good for a kid that, again, when he's in position to hit and he gets his foot down early and the bat stays with his own. You see that triple last night, the triple he hit today. Good things are going to happen for him when he does that. But, he's a kid that obviously at the top of the order is going to see a lot of pitches and gives us an opportunity to see what pitches are throwing against us. And he does a good job of communicating when he comes back to the bench to let guys know what he's seeing.
Okay. I had a chance to speak with Alex Jr. earlier. He said that base running is one of the items he's looking to improve. Is that what you're seeing also?
Oh yeah, he can. We always get better at everything, but I think that it's a different game at the pro level than what he's used to. So yeah, he's going to keep working on his base running, but as we say, you can't steal first base, so we got to make sure he continues to work on his offense and learn how to hit.
What is your outlook for him on the season?
Again, to continue getting better and being a guy at the top of the order, he's going to have a lot of at-bats and opportunity, and to stay strong defensively. He's done a great job out there for us so far. And one of the things that's been good is that he'll get to the balls in the gap quick and get the ball back in and prevent guys from taking extra bases. And again, he's a baseball player that is kind of like a diamond rat. Not a pizza rat, but a diamond rat. That likes being around, and he's always around the cage talking with other hitters and things like that. So it's contagious when those guys are around. It's good.
What do you see as future potential?
I think he's got a chance to play at the higher levels again in the organization, and you never know with a guy like that has tools, and if he reaches his potential, he could be a big leaguer as well.
And one last question. Spoke to Lino about it as well. Spoke with Alex. He was bunting a lot the past couple of days. Is that part of his game that you wanted to keep growing?
Oh, no question. I mean, that's going to be part of his game, and not only just learning how to bunt, but situations when to bunt, directions to bunt. Things like that. There's all sorts of things that he needs to continue to learn. That again, it's a different game here at the pro level than it was at the college level. If you lay a ball down with a third baseman in, those guys at this level are going to throw you out. At the college level, it's probably a hit. So again, he's going to learn how to place the ball, learn how to deaden the ball a little bit. There's all sorts of things, but yeah, that's part of his game.
All right, thanks, Lawrence. Great work as always. And that'll just about do it for us here on the Pinstriped Prospects Podcast, episode number 62. Presented by our friends over at Velocity Wings. For Matt Kardos, Austin Petolillo, Ricky Keeler, and Lawrence Krieger. Of course, I'm Alex Zeller. However way you've chosen to listen to us or watch us here today, thank you so very much for making us a part of your weekly programming. Be sure to follow me on Twitter to continue this conversation. But in the meantime, be sure to hit that like button, or better yet, rate us online as we seek to provide the best coverage in minor league baseball. But for now, much love from all of us here at the Pinstripe Prospects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on Saturday.